My name's in lights of a rundown tavern.
Definitely in those tough environments, it really makes things a lot more intense. But do you think in those tough environments, like that you were stating while you're doing your acoustic stuff, does that bring out the greatest creativity for writing and performing and that sort of thing?
Oh, I think it definitely, when you're under pressure almost, and when, I almost think that there's a certain kind of inspiration that comes from negativity in a way. Like even when we were in the studio and it was raining all the time, the fact that we were also bummed out and pissed, it kind of, playing the music and recording was kind of like our only kind of escape from what else was going on. And so I think that helped us write a better record. So yeah.
Oh, that's really awesome.
Definitely helps.
Now, you guys, right before the record, your drummer left your band. Yeah. But
Actually in the studio. It was in the
It was in
studio.
the studio.
seriously,
Yeah, man.
oh, that must have been so.
Yeah, because we had a lot of stuff planned. We were supposed to go out to the States on our first States tour ever. We had a big festival lined up, and but basically what happened is there was the complications and whatnot, and he ended up going home, and so we had to cancel a lot of the shows because we had to figure out what was going on. We had several drummers lined up, willing to fly out to come do this stuff, but it was all so rushed and jam-packed that it was just extremely strenuous, on top of the fact that we were really bummed out being where we were. And we were
Watching the
like, oh, it
OC.
can't get any worse. So basically we had to cancel a whole bunch of shows, and we went home for Christmas, surprised our families and stuff. They didn't know we were coming home, and then we kind of got stuff sorted
Almost
out.
crashed the van in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Man, what happened there?
It's the same strip of highway that Bayside crashed on.
That's like,
It's
oh my
like
God.
that like deathly strip. It's in Wyoming, and we were driving on the highway, and it was like 2 a.m, and we got a text message from him because he was at the studio for longer than us, finishing up all the vocal tracking. So we're driving home, and we got a text message. It was like, "Hope you guys are being safe and everything. Hope everything's cool." And like, I was on my my sidekick, and I looked up, and we were like sideways on the highway, doing like doing like 75 miles an hour on the highway, which is like
Oh my
highway
God.
speed, ridiculous.
That must have been insane.
Yeah, so we hit like black ice, and we were just like flying down the highway sideways, like swerving back and forth. Our trailer almost rolled. Like, it was bad, dude. It sucked. But thankfully we recovered.
That highway seems to be.
No, so what were you gonna say?
That highway seems to be some sort of like.
Oh, dude, it's
I don't
death
know.
trap. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I wasn't even there because at that time I was sick, so I had to actually stay in the studio an extra 4 days so they could drive home, and I flew home. But I had the guys texting me on my phone while I was in the studio being like, "Oh, we almost just died. Oh, we almost just died. Oh my God, you'll never believe what happened. You'll never believe." And I'm just sitting there like, what's going on? And I'm going like in between like these hour-long, like in between texts, like trying to wait and figure out what was going on. But
It's been so stressful while you're trying to do your vocals.
Yeah, because I'm like sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna record a really important record, and what if my band dies? That would suck.
Good times.
You guys have been touring non-stop. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard you guys hit Ottawa at least like 6 times in the past 2 years. Yeah, that must be so strenuous on you guys.
It's I don't know. It's like honestly, dude. It's worse being at home just because we're so used to being on tour
Yeah.
so much. Like,
You guys have
tours,
just
like,
gotten accustomed to it.
it's just like being on tour is like the way home should be. Like,
Yeah.
I'm used to being in our van. I'm used to being with like my band, and I'm used to being with everybody that's always around. So when we go home, like the downtime is like brutal. Like, it's terrible.
Yeah,
dude.
like-
It's horrible. But
Yeah, like this last
Like, we're
time when
gone.
we were home, it was like the longest time we've been home in the last 2 years, I think.
year and a half. I think first time we've been home in a year and a half.
And everyone was just depressed. He
Oh.
had insomnia. He couldn't sleep.
Yeah, it's brutal.
And everyone was just having the worst time of our lives. And it's like a lot of bands, a lot of people, when they go away from them, everyone gets homesick. It's like we almost get tour sick. Like, we can't be home sitting on our asses doing nothing because we need to get out there because it's just you feel like nothing's being accomplished.
That seems like the perfect situation for you guys because for a band at least, because like you like record labels and fans want you to always be on the road. How do you think that affects like your writing for The Fanciful?
I don't know. Well, we
You
took
guys have gotten a lot of time to really like shape these songs to what
Yeah,
your
yeah,
ideal of what you wanted, right?
Yeah, like we were on tour, and we were like writing songs like randomly, and we'd come up with ideas and
Little
stuff, and like
riffs and stuff.
little shit. But I mean, I think we took like a couple weeks off here and there, just like chunks of time. Whenever we'd be in between tours, we'd all get together and like sort of hole ourselves up in the basement and pretty much just like try to write the record the best we could. But it was weird, dude. We were writing parts of the record on the way to the studio. We were like, we wrote an entire song in the studio, like on the spot.
Which one was that?
Professional Cinderella.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't tell anybody that. But,
Yeah.
Which one? Sorry.
No, that's
Secret
actually
Top.
kind of a good thing, because if people like it, then you'll be like, well,
Yeah.
that was written in.
Oh, the
20
song
minutes.
"Professional Cinderella." It used to be. Actually, it's weird. We were gonna re-record an old song that we had already done, and so I went and laid down all the drum tracks, and we started doing
Oh,
it.
you were playing the drums.
Yeah,
on
I
that?
played all the drums because like our drummer left, right? So
Right.
I did all the drum tracking on the record too.
That's awesome. Like, great job, dude.
Yeah, it was stressful and it sucked.
I think it ruined the record for him.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, so like I laid down the drum tracks, and we were like, went to go move on to guitars,
And it was the last song, I think.
and it was
we did
it was
guitars
the
on.
last song we did guitars on. We were like, I don't know if I'm feeling it, man. Like we're just not into it anymore. And
It wasn't
like,
really suiting
whatever.
the rest of the record.
So
it sounded like,
our producer went inside to make what was he eating? Like those tamale things? This weird Mexican food that he's super into.
oh yeah.
Went
yeah,
inside and like started like he went to microwave some like Mexican dish, and between the time he was gone, we rewrote the entire song in like 5 minutes.
That's amazing.
So we were like I don't know.
We had
if
to
it'll work.
rewrite it over the original drum
Over the
tracks.
original drums, right? So the original drums for the real song, and we just rewrote a song over those drums, and
so
like
crazy.
made it all work and made it all fit together, and it's like 1,000 times better.
when I was listening to your older demos of the songs like San Dimas and
Yeah,
Bronze
yeah.
Goddess,
Yeah.
like those were great tracks. And then you guys brought back and like gave it a new twist to those songs.
People
That
hate those songs now.
Yeah.
Everyone
The
hates
new
them.
ones?
That's
Yeah.
the response we've
Why?
been getting.
Everyone rags on the new recordings, but
Well, you know
oh
what?
well.
If you think about it, people have been so accustomed to
Yeah,
those
yeah.
older
Oh, yeah,
songs,
of course.
and it's gonna take a little bit, of time for people to get accustomed to the new stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.